Hey guys, what is going on? McMull2 here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you footage of a Jedi squad in the arena. I previously did another video soon after R2-D2 came out where I talked about how deadly R2-D2 makes your Jedi squads in the arena. And in that team, I originally had a Qui-Gon Jinn lead with General Kenobi, Anakin, Yoda, and R2. This time I am more focusing on the fact that you can bring Ezra in place of Anakin, and Ezra turns into an absolute monster in this team. He's going to be your main damage dealer, and he's just going to deal out tons of damage. So I'm going to talk about why he is so good in this team and all the offense opportunities you have. There's going to be a lot of math breakdowns. It's going to get a little nerdy. Apologies ahead of time for that. And then while this is going on, I'm also going to talk about the mods for this team and just do a quick overview since you guys have already seen the mods I've done before. But I'll go into depth about the mods for Ezra as well and why you wouldn't run that. And then I'll break down the different offense opportunities you have with this team and just why Ezra does so much damage in this team. So let's go ahead and start off with the mods and then we will go from there. When it comes to the mods this team, ideally you want to have Yoda be your fastest character. This is for a very reason, in case you have a lot of phases on your shard, you can force that dispel from him early and really help keep the tenacity up on your entire team. So focus on speed. You can see with my Yoda, I have him at 266 speed, so he's almost running 300 speed under the Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead. So getting that speed on him is going to be really vital, and it's also vital for Qui-Gon Jinn as well. You can see with my mods, I'm also running a full speed mod set on him. He's at 262 speed, slightly slower, so that he can follow up just behind Yoda to help really get those buffs in, or if there's an initial taunt on, say, like a shore trooper, or call an assist to quickly control one of the characters. So getting the speed on those two characters is vital, and then of course you have R2-D2. You want to stack offense on him, get that offense on him as high as you can, so going for offense set mods. You can see he's running just over 2,800 physical damage. With that number crunch Zeta, he's going to be giving a lot of offense out, which I'll cover later on. And then moving on to General Kenobi, I'm also running speed and health on him. I'm trying to buff up his protection overall. You can see he's running 50,000 protection, 30,000 health. So he's a good 80,000 effective health there with that. So he's going to be your tank for this team, and with his taunts on critical hits, it's really, really useful for your team to help keep them alive, especially with squishy characters in there, like with Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn and Ezra to a point. So having him buffed up with health and protection, and getting his speed up to a decent amount as well. You can see he's at 210 speed with those speed mods. Really going to be helpful there. And then finally, we have Ezra. You want to make him be your main damage dealer, so he's going to be running crit chance and crit damage. So he's going to be running a good amount of speed here, and then 216% crit damage, a lot of crit chance as well. I also add in another 10% from R2-D2's combat analysis unique. So he's going to be your main damage dealer. You want to make sure he hits fast and hard. Also, stacking up offense with secondaries and across and the square mods also really going to help there. I'll go into more detail with that. You can see he's got over 2,500 physical offense here. So that's going to be really vital for making sure you can boost his damage overall. Again, I'll cover that as we break down just why Ezra's so good with this team. But yeah, for him, you definitely want to make sure that you have him fully upgraded with his push through unique, and getting him fully omega is going to be your best way to make sure that you get your max damage potential out of him. And of course, you do have the Zetas on Qui-Gon Jinn and R2. You need the Zeta on Number Crunch, and you need the Zeta on Qui-Gon Jinn lead to really make this team work. But for Yoda, you don't really need to worry about the Zetas on him. Battle Meditation is nice, but I'm finding that it's not really required for this team. So yeah, that is it for the mods. Talked a little bit about the abilities too. Let's go ahead and break down the offense for Ezra and just why he becomes such a monster in this team. You can see in this photo there are 4 instances of bonus offense that can be applied to Ezra. You have his unique push through, in which he will gain 40% bonus offense. That is built off of his base stat at 2569 with the mods, and adding in that 40% bonus will give him up to 35, almost 3,600 offense there. Then you have the Dispel from Qui-Gon Jinn's Humbling Blow. That adds another 25% bonus offense to Ezra, so that would be another 640 offense. And then the Leadership Zeta for Qui-Gon adds offense equal to 3 times the character speed. With 203 speed on Ezra, that is another 609 bonus offense. And then finally, you have the Zeta from R2-D2, where he gains 10% bonus offense for each Galactic Republic ally. And in this team, you have 4 Galactic Republic allies, so that's 40% bonus offense to R2-D2. You can see it brings it up to just under 4,000 bonus offense, and then a 10% of that offense total is then given to the other allies under the Zeta unique. So that is almost another 400 bonus offense added in. between the Humbling Blow offense up, the Leadership Zeta, and the Number Crunch Zeta, you get almost 1700 bonus offense there, which then you add on to the 35, almost 3600 with Ezra under his unique, and you can see here Ezra is just under 5300 bonus offense. That is an absurd amount. It's probably the highest that any character can get in the game. It's all thanks to the two Zetas here, plus the offense up and Ezra's unique. That is why Ezra will become such a monster in this team. As you can see throughout this video, he's going to be hitting hard once that offense really builds up from his unique, and then adding in all the bonuses from everything else. That is why he just deals so much damage, and that is why he is definitely someone you could look at throwing into your Jedi team. And there's been some debates about using him versus Anakin, which, yeah, I'll go into more detail about, because there are definitely some pros and cons to using Ezra versus Anakin, and it depends on what arena teams that you run into. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that debate with Anakin versus Ezra, and then we will go from there. When it comes to using Ezra versus Anakin, there's one real benefit from using Anakin, and that is Anakin has 2 debuffs on his basic attack, healing immunity and buff immunity. If you're on a shard like me, you're going to have a lot of Xeris and Kenobi combos showing up lately, and Anakin is much better suited to deal with those combos because of that buff immunity, and the healing immunity cancels out the taunts from Kenobi as well as the crit hit immunity, and the healing immunity prevents the Xeris from healing whenever someone's critically hit. So you're really able to manage those better. But outside of that, really, Ezra is a much better character for your team overall because of his overall boost in damage that you just won't find with Anakin. Anakin can do massive amounts of AoE and can hit really hard if one of your members falls below 50% health or is defeated, but it's very situational, and you already have offense up from the Qui-Gon Jinn Dispel, and with the Omega on that lasts 3 turns, so really you can keep pretty much a 100% uptime on offense up with the Qui-Gon Jinn Dispel that is Omega. And of course you can't ignore the watch and learn ability from Ezra, where it gives certain bonuses depending on who he calls in to assist. I personally like to use it to call in to assist with Qui-Gon Jinn, so that Qui-Gon Jinn uses basic and gains bonus turn meter plus the 40% he's already getting from being called in from Ezra. So Ezra really helps also boost the synergies with your team around him, and that is something that you also can't ignore, besides the fact that he just deals so much more damage than Anakin. So you really don't need to worry about Anakin's damage too much. That's why Ezra's so much better. You can see here in this video right now where I'm fighting a General Kenobi team with Xeris in there. It takes me almost 4 minutes to beat this team with Ezra in there instead of Anakin. If I had Anakin in there, it would have been much easier to manage. I probably would have done it in at least 3 minutes instead of almost going to the timeout. So really, having Anakin is a really big boost for your team on that. As well as defense, I've noticed that I'm dropping a lot farther with Ezra in there instead of Anakin. Apparently Anakin's a lot harder to fight on defense than it is with Ezra. Ezra is a lot squishier, and he's not as much of a threat with Anakin, who can quickly punish teams on defense when offense is much easier and you're quickly picking off members. If you ignore that Anakin can very quickly punish you and tear apart your team, and that's something that's a really good deterrent for defense. So I recommend for offense you use Ezra, and then if you're running into a lot of Xeris teams, you switch in Anakin real quick, and then keep Anakin for defense because he's a lot harder to manage on defense, and you're really going to have a lot more people avoid fighting your team overall. So with that, there's also been some questions about using Anakin in place of Yoda. I highly recommend against that, especially with NEQILLA showing up a lot. That tenacity up from Yoda and his battle meditation is a really great way to manage all the health down debuffs that you'll get from the Zeta unique with NEQILLA. So keeping that battle meditation with Yoda in is really vital there. Plus you can use Yoda to do battle meditation at the beginning and force that AoE dispel as you see in these videos, and that really negates the dispel from Baze and allows you to keep tenacity up for several turns. So really I recommend keeping Yoda in, and just kind of think about switching out Anakin and Ezra depending on the situation and what teams you're fighting. So that is it for this video. I'll let the rest of this match play out so you guys can finish watching it. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel for more content in the future, and keep an eye out. Next few days, I'm working on a video that has Imperial Troopers doing 4.6 million in Phase 4 of the Heroic AAT raid, so look for that video in the next few days. I'm going to do a tutorial on it, how you want to mod them, and how you want to use that team in there. So keep an eye out for that. As always, guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of this video, and I will talk to you guys later.